see her lying back in her satin dress in a room where you do what you don't confess. Sundown, you better take care if I find you've been creeping round my back stairs. Sundown, you better take care if I find you've been creeping round my back stairs. She's been looking like a queen in a sailor's dream, and she don't always say what she really means. Sometimes I think it's a shame when I get feeling better when I'm feeling no pain. Sometimes I think it's a shame when I get feeling better when I'm feeling no pain. I can picture every move that a man could make. Getting lost in her loving is your first.
Happy Homebrew Wednesday on a Tuesday. Let's see if I can get this out tonight. This is a Pilsner. Look at this thing. I can smell it from here. You know, the funny thing is, in all the times drinking Budweiser, or actually I won't say Pabst Blue Ribbon because I think that doesn't necessarily apply to that, and Josh Secor would appreciate this. But in all the times that I've drank Pilsner, I never really noticed that a real good craft brewed Pilsner has as much or even more of an aroma than an IPA. And a lot of it is the malt. God, look how gorgeous that is. A lot of it is the malt. God, I love the color of lagers. Light lagers. A lot of it is the malt, I think, because when you get this aroma, I smell two things. I smell bready malt, and I smell noble hops. Those are the two things, and it's very, very strong. It's almost easier to smell than a. First of all, happy Homebrew Wednesday. Cheers. God, that is lovely. This is the year of the Pilsner. I did start out with that at the beginning of the year, saying this was going to be my year of the Pilsner and the lager. I didn't know I was going to start off, or the year of the lager. I didn't know I was going to start off with the German Pils, but I'm glad I did. This thing is, look at the lacing on that. I mean, oh, it's all the reasons I like an IPA. It's beautiful. It's got a great head retention, great lacing. The aroma is freaking killer, and it's just a gorgeous beer. And they'll say that if you can brew a Pilsner, I think I read somewhere that somebody said when I go to a craft brewery, first thing I check out, first beer I check out is their Pilsner. Because if a brewery does a Pilsner right, where you can't mask imperfection really, then everything else is going to be even better. Or is going to be, everything's going to be great because they obviously know what they're doing. Well, hopefully this means that I know what I'm doing. Okay, well that's a first. So I was interrupted in my Homebrew Wednesday by a workmate, but that's okay. So what I had to do was I went ahead, and as I was talking to him, I finished my Pilsner. So now I have to refill my glass. And if you notice, this looks a little darker than the Pilsner, right? And just a bit clearer because it's been sitting in the keg longer. This is Social Distancing IPA. And this IPA, first of all, let me finish talking about the Pilsner. It's a damn good Pilsner. I think I'm going to call it Poppin' Pills because it makes sense. I got Social Distancing IPA and Popping Pills. Later in the video, I'll talk about what I brewed for the Unity Brew Day and where that's headed. So anyway, I have the perfect lineup in my kegerator right now. I have the first version of the brew that I did for the SJ Pour Challenge Round 2. Didn't bottle that one, so I still have maybe a quarter of a keg left of that. The real version of the SJ Pour beer is gone. It kicked this weekend. I have Poppin' Pills, which I just kegged, so I've got good, not quite 5 gallons of that in a keg. And then I have probably, about 60% of this keg left, and this is Social Distancing IPA. Look at the color on that thing. Look at that. Sometimes you have a stretch where you have just a whole, you'll have like a beer that doesn't quite turn out. This was if you remember back a video or two, this one I really didn't think was going to turn out. I kegged it, and I waited a day, then the next day it tastes a little better. I was drinking it during the Unity Brew Day. This thing has come into its own. It smells like tropical, fruity. I used Eureka, Galaxy, and Columbus are the three. The aroma just, it's like it's not like you got your head in a bag of hops. It's like you're in the freaking hop factory as they're getting ready to pelletize the damn things. It is super hops. It is, it's beautiful. It's a perfect West Coast IPA. It's got all kinds of malt complexity because I use Munich and Vienna and Pilsner. This is actually mostly Pilsner. It's I'd say probably 80% Pilsner, and the rest is like a mix of Vienna and Munich and a little bit of caramel 120 and just all kinds of stuff. Oh man, but the aroma on this thing is like badass. It's really good. And the flavor. Beautiful, clean, man. What's stuck in my head right now is that final round 2019 that I screwed up of Old School in the SJ Pour competition last year, and I was like, man, what's going on? This brings me back to my center. This is, and this is just this is a 7%. This is a straight up, no, maybe it's a 6.5% IPA. It's not even a 7%. And man, it's got so much packed in flavor and aroma. It's just beautiful. It's got that lacing again. So anyway, I say all that to say I'm on a good run right now. I'm cranking out some beers that are just, and this is a good time to peak because I don't have to rebrew my SJ Pour round beer. I'm not going to say any more than that. I just don't have to rebrew it. I've already got them all bottled. I got to put the labels on them. Burnt my new labels this weekend. So what else? Poppin' Pills, Social Distancing IPA, and then I've got the Old School, which I can't call it Old School. I got to call it Old School 1090 because the original Gravity ended up 1090. I put probably a couple of pounds more of grain than I normally put in. So this behemoth is ending up at 10.1%. I checked the final Gravity, it was like 1015. So I went from 1090 to 1015, so 10.1%. Taste every bit of it too. I put in the dry hops, the Citra, Simcoe, and Columbus, the dry hops yesterday. So next Monday I'll take that out, start cold crashing. So should have that by Friday. It should be in the keg and cleared out and ready to go next Friday. So as far as brewing, anything brewing coming up? No. I've got SJ Pour coming up. I've got plenty of beer. I've got my Old School in the hopper. I think I'm good for a while. I think I'm gonna brew another lager. I think for this one, I'm happy with the pills. I'm not changing this recipe. This is the IPA, but I'm not changing the Poppin' Pills recipe at all. Matter of fact, I need to send it out to some of you guys to kind of, because I can't tell whether it ended up a German Pilsner or a Czech Pils. I mean, does it taste like it could be a Czech Pils too? I don't know. I did use some Saaz, so maybe, I don't know. What else? So I'm going to do another lager. I think for the next lager I'm going to do, it's going to be a, what do you call it? München? What's that brewery that I really like in Munich? Man, what is it? Hofbrau München, the kind of light lager version of it. I think I'm going to brew one of those and see how that comes out. But anyway, I think I've rambled on enough. No brew day footage. I might show some footage of something here. I think I did some. I might show some footage of how the bouncer worked out for me on the Pilsner brew day. So maybe I'll throw that in at the end. But anyway, if not, have yourself a happy homebrew. and have I'm in the middle of Justified right now. I started watching all the Justified episodes again. I'm on season 3, I think. Maybe I'm on season 2. I'll be on season 3 soon. If you haven't watched Justified, you should go watch it. It's a lot of good. But anyway, and have a very, very happy Homebrew Wednesday. Cheers. Hey, what's up, brew tippers? So, not a brew day this weekend, but I figured I would pop in and give you, sorry about that, I got you propped up on my hot liquor tank. Hopefully that'll stay. Figured I'd pop in and give you some behind the scenes footage of, I've been using the, so Josh Hoover was nice enough to send me these really small micron filters, and just use it to do my pills. And you can see a lot of gunk was left behind. I'm gonna pull this out and see how much. Yeah, so there's so much gunk in there. So much gunk in there. Let's see. I use the. Let me try to do this without blocking your view here. Sorry. There's so much gunk in there. It won't even empty out. A lot of the yeast and trub. So normally I'm pretty careful when I do my my auto siphon not to pick up the last bit of dregs in the carboy. But I was using this blue one and this micron one in series, and let me pour it out and see. Yeah, so you can see there's quite a bit of junk in there. So let me try to get this out on the. I don't think I can really smack it out on the table here. When I got all the moisture out, you can see there's still all that junk in the bottom. I mean, this was a pretty clear beer anyway. I mean, I was pretty careful when I siphoned it, and it wasn't any dry hops or anything. It was just a German Pils. But this one I really wanted to be clear, so it went into the keg really, really clear. So I think I like this. I don't think it's a bouncer product, but it fits with the Mac Daddy. And Josh can come and correct me if I'm wrong with some of the stuff I'm saying, but it works with the Mac Daddy. It fits right in and works well. So I like it for lagers and such. I wouldn't try to use this, I don't think, on an IPA because it might get clogged pretty easily. But if you're using something that's not overly hopped or dry hopped, this thing I think is money. So thank you, Josh. The Pilsner came out and it finished at 10:12. Started at 10:52, finished at 10:12. So that makes it a 5.3% Pilsner. That's right on the money. I'm very happy with that. And I tasted it right after I kegged it. I was able to get plenty of carb in it because both the keg set overnight with Star San, so it was cold. And then obviously I pulled it out of the third week of the Brewlosophy lager method at 35 degrees this week. So it carved really easy, and I got a pretty good taste on it. I put some gelatin in it, so it's further going to clear out and I think it's going to be commercial quality clear. But on the smell, the aroma, and the taste, it blows any Pilsner out of the water I've ever tasted. Now, I haven't been to the Czech Republic and tasted their Pilsners, which I know they're pretty good, but this one is, man, it's going to be bready. It's got a really good bitterness, on it. I forget what the IBUs were, but it was like right in the mid range of what a German Pils is supposed to be. So perfect weather or timing, because I think the weather's gonna get a little warmer, and this Pils is gonna go down very nicely. The weird thing though is it didn't quite fill up the keg. It got to about probably 3 or 4 beers short of what I normally get into a keg. So when I do the next one, I might add a little more water, top off or something to add more volume, because I don't think I got enough into the carboy. But anyway, just wanted to pop in and say hi. Like I said, no brew day, but I am out of PBW, which is a problem, so I'm going to have to sort that out. So anyway, hey, cheers, guys. Hey, Josh. I use the Bouncer Mac Daddies on the Pilsner. Look how much stuff I caught. That's in the blue, and then on the Micron, it cleaned up anything else that got in there. So worked really well. Thank you for the send. I really appreciate it.